is... Oh, there we go. Took a moment. Okay. Let me scroll back up here. Different one. Alright. Do you have a good luck charm?
Am I up first?
If you know, feel free.
Yeah. Cronus's good luck charm is his lucky jaw harp that he's never debuted.
Lucky jar?
Jaw harp.
Jaw harp.
Oh, jaw harp.
Are you not hearing my musical instrumentation right now?
No.
I think Discord's probably filtering it as noise.
Oh, god damn it. I'm laying down a pretty sick beat here.
Nice. Jaw harp. Sick.
We believe you.
That's pretty cool. Oh, I got like a faint hint of it there. Just a little whack. Alright, we got lucky jaw harp. What the rest is?
So she'd never admit it to anybody, but Braz has a little rock that Maz gave her, and she keeps it in her pocket always.
Nice.
The blessings of Gronka!
How about you, Maz?
Maz's lucky item is the top hat that she stole off of the old ringmaster.
Oh.
Inherited.
We need
I
that
mean.
hat and all the
Inherited,
images.
right. Inherited. Mm-hmm. Of course.
He would have wanted you to have it.
Yeah, he would
Yeah.
have.
You know, he told me on the night he died, Maz, my favorite goblin, I want you to have this hat if I meet a tragic end.
Mm.
It was very touching. No one was there to witness it.
Of course not. It was
But he also was like, I'll never die.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Hawker?
It would be the first circus item that Honker ever received, the Great Fortuno's cape.
Nice.
He keeps it inside of him at all times so that it will never be lost. Also because he burned most of it, and he's just got like a couple scraps left. He kind of assumed that one. It's a long story.
That's great. All right. Anybody remember what we got up to last time?
Oh no.
Yes? Stuff and things.
Yeah, I do actually, surprisingly.
All right.
Okay.
Because we went into that really big room.
Yep.
And we got our butts kind of kicked, but we also kicked a lot of butt.
That's true. You guys did take a lot of damage.
Flirted and kissed a spider lady.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Brodus had a really sick flying kick into a golem through poison mist and killed it for us.
Yeah, that was indeed pretty baller.
And then we ended up talking to, I don't remember what their race name is.
Drugar.
Basically, Drugar. Okay, I was gonna say Havlin Drow.
Pretty much, yeah.
But we talked with the Drugar, who we found out was like slave slash research assistant to the guy that has been in here.
Yep.
And has our shiny orb of destiny.
Not the destiny orb.
And they told us that they know that he took it to the basically where all the drow are.
Yeah, their city, Shraen.
And so we told them how to get out of here in exchange for their anti-radiation necklace.
Yep.
And that's basically where we left off was, oh great, now we have to go to another dangerous place.
Now we gotta do some more bullshit. So, yeah, that pretty much covered it. So yeah, you got some information that the orb was being researched by Zalin, who is a drow from Shraen, and evidently they were researching it here, and they weren't getting the results that they wanted, and so he decided to take it back to Shraen to research further in his laboratory, and left Cormentor, who was the Durgar you were talking to, here to continue researching the temple, just kind of on their own here. So we are leveling up. So go ahead and crack open your character sheets and hit that nice big tracker button and go through.
Cracked and hit already.
Go on through. So while you guys are leveling up, so Shraen's a bit of distance, but conveniently, we have our hover skin bus that we can kind of ride in that direction. So at this point, like you guys, you make your way back out of Zulkandur with this information in your heads. Thaxon, who had been accompanying you here, doesn't have any interest in going to Shraen, but they say that they will go back to Karistan and report on what you all had found here. And if you meet Karistan again, he said he had more to give you, but she is going to head on her way back to Karistan to report on what you guys found out about what the Drow were up to, because she's much more interested in that than going by herself to the city of the Drow and probably getting murdered. So while you guys are leveling up, you guys have all piled into Scinthia here, and I'll bring up the map here. So yeah, you guys are at, say you're at the eastern edge of the little area there where the jungle actually still is. You guys are heading to, there's the big X I drew on the map over there. That is where Shraen is. Bit of a distance. So during the course of your leveling up stuff, we're just going to assume, because that's a long distance of fucking nothing, and you guys are just, you're floating along, you have your way, you're traveling. There's a little, imagine a little skin bus on this map, just putzing along a dotted line towards Shraen while you guys are leveling up. Because, you had the deal with the Erdfans. Karistan said they aren't going to come after you. Yeah, there's other dangerous things in the Black Desert, as we're well aware. But that's just a whole lot of nothing. We're going to get to the interesting stuff. So do what you will with your level ups while that is happening, and we'll pick up where we pick up once you're all set.
I'm picturing the magic school bus, but with Frankenstein sewed together skin on it instead of yellow.
See, I'm not going to show it yet, But the image I was talking about that I was trying to get put together is like a little flavor image for some stuff later. Did kind of turn out that way.
Nice.
Because like, so there's the other one which I'll post afterwards, which was the one where it kind of just went full minivan. It has wheels, but it's just a minivan made out of skin, and it's kind of metal actually. Uh, but I was like, I don't want it to have wheels. I want it to have, you know, kind of spider legs going on. The one I do have is kind of a skin magic school bus with spider legs and wings.
That is now the only way I'm going to imagine Skinthia.
But you'll see that later. I especially love that you'll see that, you know, hunkers are.
Can you share Maz's sheet with me?
Oh, sure. Oh,
Since
did it
it's
like
a
not
new
recognize you because you're a new computer?
Yeah, since it's a new device, it has to be reshared with me, even though I'm on the same account.
Right. Okay, clear.
Dumb.
Okay, you
Okay,
should be
I have
able
a
to see yours
question.
now. So go ahead and grab it. And then go ahead quick.
Okay, so here's my question is, if I have the feat effortless concentration, the trigger for the feat is my turn begin.
Okay.
And the feat reads, I can maintain a spell with hardly a thought. I gain the effects of the sustain action, allowing me to extend the duration of an active bard spell, of one of my active bard spells. So then if I cast a sustained spell with that, then could I cast a second sustain needing spell and then spend the action sustaining it and have two sustained spells at the same time with only having to spend one action?
So you kind of have like you can just like, you know, say you're Inspire Courage, you can just like have that up and it's not like even an issue for you anymore because you've done it so much. It just kind of is.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. Not, it's more like, you know, 5e concentration is what I'm able to do without having to concentrate. So Inspire Courage isn't a great example because that's not like a sustained one. I don't have any sustained spells
Oh,
right now,
right now.
but it would be like, I don't know, a good example.
From what
The reason I'm asking this is because there's another spell I'm looking at taking, right?
Okay.
That so the way I read this then is I just always sustain a spell. Therefore, if I take the Quandary spell, which if the enemy fails their save on that, oh wait, no, there's no save. There's no save on it, and I send them to a puzzle room in another plane of existence because that's where Honker's getting to at this point. They can roll to escape, but it's a sustained spell. So my thought is, can I not just banish people to another plane of existence?
You have an infinite puzzle box mind prison. You just disappear people.
Yeah. And I mean, they have a roll, right? So they can.
Yeah, they can
get
out. Yeah.
In theory, if they roll, I don't know, it's like a 40 or something now. Something like that. Something pretty high. They'd have to roll that. I don't know. That sounds kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, that might be. I think. I feel like if you went the route of, like, if it was like, if we took like, you know, your Inspire Courage, for example, and you just kind of had like an Inspire Courage aura basically now, I feel like that would be fine to like put in a slot like that to just kind of have on, and like and you just, you know, do that. For something like banishing people into a mind prison, I don't know if that would, Like you can still, I would say you could still cast that. Like you can't, because from what I'm
I'm not
seeing,
saying I do it to like everybody, because you can only do it to one person, right?
oh, one at a time. I see.
Or two at most. That's all I'm saying. Is like if the feat
Uh,
allows me to sustain, because it reads one spell. The
Yeah.
feat reads one spell, so it allows me to auto sustain one spell. So then my question is, am I is it, can I then use one of my actions to also sustain a second spell?
Oh,
That's all.
yes. Yeah. I looked that particular bit up, and yeah, it looks like rules
Okay.
as written, you can sustain multiple spells. Like that kind of limits, obviously other stuff you might be able to do. It seems like, but
Yeah, because it's using an action to do that each time. So I would have to, it limits me in that way, but okay.
so like the example that I found in this post that was asking about this was like how they were, new to Pathfinder. I was intrigued by sustain a spell, and I know you can sustain a spell multiple times per turn, but I was wondering if there's something preventing someone from casting Flaming Sphere on one turn, sustaining it the next turn, and then casting Flaming Sphere again and using 2 actions to sustain both spells on the next turn,
Mm-hmm.
which takes up resources, so it's not as viable at lower levels, but it would be interesting in combat. And according to the replies, like rules is written, yeah, you can do that.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
So that's cool. Neat.
Perfect. So what you're saying is I can auto banish 2 people.
2 people, yeah. two people to the shadow realm.
I just banish them into like my mind realm, and they just have to. That's the puzzle. Is like coping. Okay.
Just whenever that comes up, the first time, you're probably gonna have to tell us what your mind realm looks like. So just have that in the back of your mind. What interesting stuff were you getting, Braz? Since I know you were looking into stuff.
Oh, well, I thought we got more at this level and we didn't.
Oh.
No, you
I
don't
didn't
get
get
much level
anything
16.
because I couldn't remember what level it was. But my new alchemist items I picked are pretty good, but I don't want to share them till I use them.
Okay. All right.
But they're really good.
Stick around and find out. Really cool, you guys. Don't leave.
I've been realizing I've been doing something a little bit wrong with my flurry of blows, but it's going to be exciting. It's going to be just fine. Don't worry about it.
Ooh, okay. Exciting.
I could have been doing my stumbling feint could have been more potent, but it's okay.
Oh,
Stay
okay.
there.
Well, that's good that we're finding out that we were
I've
doing it
also-
wrong in a way that makes it better now.
Yeah. And I've also gained something called a flinging blow.
Interesting.
Basically a fortitude save against my DC, or be pushed 10 feet directly away, 20 feet on a critical failure, and fall prone. If another creature or physical object would prevent this movement, both the target and the block or object take an additional 1d6 bludgeoning damage.
Oh, nice.
5 feet of movement is prevented. So I'm going to get somebody up against some walls. If their back is already against a wall and they fail at this, 10 feet means they would take 2d6 additional. A critical failure, 20 feet means they would take an additional 4d6 of push bludgeoning damage for
just bouncing them off the wall here. Just
That's nice and ridiculous. I
Yeah.
love it.
plan.
So Grotus.
That is the plan, man. There's also something, if there's a way for me, I'm going to look at the respecs
okay.
stuff to see if there's a way, because I underestimated the abilities of the 1-inch punch.
Mm.
And I might trade in something like Timeless Body or something like that. But I don't know. Maybe I'll keep what I got.
Okay. Okay.
Anyway, I think it should be good. Everything's going to be great. We're going to be bouncing things off the walls. People are going to get stumbled and fainted and flinged.
Using a dude to hit another dude.
Beat your ass with your own fucking guy.
Yep. Anything broken you're getting, Maz, beyond your already insane sneak attack stuff because you're mostly invisible to people?
I'm still figuring it out. There
Ugh.
are some cool ones. I'm just not sure, like, what might be the better pick.
Okay. What kind of cool ones are you looking at? Like, what do you got?
So there's um there's one called Steel Spell, which um I can steal a prepared or spontaneous spell from a foe,
Whoa.
and it's randomly selected from the highest level spells the foe knows up to an 8th level.
Whoa.
The target loses the spell slot that would have been required for that spell. And then I can cast the spell once within the next 1d4 of rounds. Myself.
That's pretty cool.
There's also one called Dispelling Slice,
Ooh.
which is where, since I always sneak attack, my foes are always flat-footed against me, so because I'm doing damage to someone flat-footed, I can then, it says your sneak attack slices through the threads binding magic to a target. You attempt to counteract a single spell active on the target of my choice, and then its counteract level is equal to half your level, rounded up.
Oh, okay.
So essentially, like, if they were, like, buffing themselves,
Yeah,
I
you
guess.
can cast Dispel by stabbing them on them.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
I have one that's essentially, like, being able to walk across water, air, traps, and solid surfaces for 1 turn. So, like, essentially my movement speed. If, like, I was trying to cross something perilous, I could essentially,
Coyote time it.
yeah, as long as it was only as long as it was within my movement. Um,
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, those all seem pretty interesting. Yeah.
I mean, those are some good
yeah,
choices.
I'm
and
supposed to
I
have greater
suck at
weapon,
choices.
unarmed weapon bonus. Yeah.
Your weapon was what?
My damage bonus for unarmed strikes was 3 in the self-built stumbling strike thing, but it should be to 6 because I have greater weapon specialization and I'm a
Oh.
master of unarmed attack.
Oh, nice. Sweet. Additional damage dice. Good shit.
I just numerical based bonus from +3 on top of strength to now +6 on top of strength. Damage dice are still the number it was.
Oh, the bonus. Okay. Still, the extra +3. That'll get you some more punches. That's for sure.
Go find a Badoo!
All right. Well, it sounds like for the most part, most of the stuff is all figured out. Maybe a few things we're still doing. So, while you guys are finishing that up here, so we've been journeying across the vastness of the Black Desert throughout the past little while here, and you've made it quite a good ways. It's been probably at least a week of travel in Scythia across the sands here, and you guys are getting fairly near to Shraen. You're probably still like maybe a day or so off, and give me a perception. All right. So, Maz, you are kind of peering out over the sand, and you catch a glimpse a decent ways away, like at least a few miles across the dunes here. What looks to be a group of folks traveling over in that direction. You can't really make out what exactly they are or who they are, just with your eyes alone here. But you see a group off in that direction. They look to be about 15 people from what you count. They seem to be traveling to the west, so they're going the opposite direction of you guys. Well, northwest-ish.
Should we go see what they're doing? I don't think we should rob them, but if something
Do
happens,
they need entertainment?
yeah, that's good.
Are they
Yeah.
sad?
Let's go see if they need to hear some jokes.
Okay.
All right. So, you guys turn the van and begin kind of making in that direction. Like they don't seem to like notice they're going the other way. You're kind of going, you're kind of coming up behind them from your direction-ish. And as you're heading that direction, give me another perception.
My favorite thing to do is approach people from behind when they don't know I'm coming.
Okay. So, all four of you. So you guys are heading this way. And so have all of you seen the Puss in Boots Last Wish movie?
No.
Oh,
No,
man.
and it's weird that you have. Like, when did that come out?
Afraid not.
Oh man. So
I judge you.
I don't. I kind of wish I was you.
It's honestly
It's
great.
such a
The
good
animation
movie, though.
is delightful. So the reason I'm referencing this is as you're heading in this direction, all of you notice vibration, and the hair on all of your guys' necks just stands up. So in the movie Puss in Boots, he is being pursued throughout the movie by this wolf who is who's death, and because he's run out of lives, he's on his last life, and
Oh.
he shows up a couple different times in the movie, and whenever he does, it's usually in the distance with this like little whistle tune, and then he's just like there, and it's like fuck. And so there's a couple times where that happens, and then Puss in Boots like just like all their fur just you feel
Okay,
that.
okay.
And so there's increasing vibration as you're heading in this direction. and it feels familiar in a bad way.
Guys, I think that bad scary thing is catching up to us.
Oh, maybe we can eat it.
No, 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 no.
Oh, that bad scary thing. Mr.
Okay,
Which
I-
bad scary thing? We see a lot of those. Different.
Yeah, the really, really bad one.
No. Okay. So we should tell the people, and then see if they want to hear a joke really quick, and then we'll go away. Like, because we've warned them, and then we've done our diligence.
Excuse me, would you like to hear a joke before you die?
Would you like to laugh one last time?
Yeah.
We have the honor.
What do you
being the
mean
last
one
thing you
last
see
time?
before you devour.
So you guys are still like a couple miles away from them when you start feeling these vibrations, and then you see out in front of you.
No, we don't.
You hear the ever so wonderful sound of this horrible aberration, and
Wait, in the direction that we're going?
in the direction that you're going, because it has just shot up out of the sand and consumed all 15 of those people.
It was in the direction we were going. We
Yeah.
turn around immediately and fuck off. Scanthia exudes extra moistness inside. She becomes damp.
Everyone gripped a nipple for support.
So you all
Our pressing A and B alternatingly to run as fast as possible.
the A and B matching the action buttons. So that you see this thing shoot out of the sand a couple miles
kind of
away
lift.
from you, and consume this entire party of whoever they were. You'll never know. And you guys have run into this thing before, and you are not here for it. And begin
Literally, we're running away.
running away. You're running as fast as you can in the other direction, back towards Shraen. You turn back around. Maybe if you go that direction, you'll be able to. Maybe Shraen will have something. Who knows? So we are. As you begin heading that way, you take a look behind you at some point, and it seems that this thing has gotten into pursuit with you. And so we're going to have a little chase
Well, fuck.
going on. So let me get this delightful picture. Oh, I'm so excited.
No.
Of Skimpy.
We don't need any. Look, we've been traumatized enough in this game.
I love it. It's tracking us via, not just by seeing us, but the little honker logs that are getting left behind.
So good.
like
So good.
like it's that skin magic school bus with spider lights. Oh man.
I mean, I was kind of worried when you described it, because there's a certain way I've always envisioned Cynthia, and this is it.
Like I was trying to get it like vaguely orbular. It took a little bit of liberties with the broken glass windows there, but otherwise.
Why are me and Maz
No.
on top of her instead of inside of her? And yes, I realize how that sounds.
You can't come in her and then come on it.
Like it.
So for this chase, so you guys are rushing as fast as you can across the sand. You don't want to deal with this. So up ahead in front of you here, you see what looks to be a kind of a pocket, like a small sandstorm in the region ahead of you here. So throughout this chase, there's going to be a series of things that we're going to run into. And that there are various rolls that can be done to try to succeed at these, and if you guys come up with things to try to deal with the stuff you're going to be dealing with, you have creative solutions. This is just a whole bunch of theater of the mind role play stuff as we go through this chase sequence here. So, you see up ahead, you're going into some kind of sandstorm pocket. Is there anything you want to do to try to prepare for this, or assist the party? You cast spells. We can do actions. There's a couple rolls I'll have you do depending on what you guys do, but anything you want to prepare as you're heading into this kind of sandstormy.
Well, I'm going to use clown lore. No, wait, hold on. Wait. I'm going to use I want to use clown lore for because that would definitely assist me because like a bunch of clowns working in a big top, right, are going to stir up dust along with the people. So like I'm using clown lore to use the skill that's been passed down to me to navigate India to make sure we don't run into any obstacles.
That was
a different
that was such a wild stretch of an explanation. That's great. But it makes sense. It makes sense. Okay, so go ahead and roll me clown lore. This will be, we're technically rolling for something else, but roll your clown lore for it.
And the messed up part is this isn't even like a very good bonus for me. I don't know why I argue clown lore all the time, but there we go.
Okay. So from your experience with dusty situations, here you are at the the twisted metal helm of your skin bus, and you spy a bit of a gap in the winds, like a break in the winds in this sandstorm ahead, and it inspires you to take this route, maybe get a little bit better of a path through, and in you head with that roll there. So you press onwards, through this sandstormy situation here, and ahead of you, you begin to see kind of through the sand here. It looks like a particularly rough bit of terrain. There's a lot of these kind of obsidian crystal spires that are like sticking out of the sand up ahead here in various directions and various sizes. Kind of an asteroid belt dodgy situation we got going on here. How do we want to approach getting through this obsidian spire field? Probably not best to run directly into a spire. Obsidian's very sharp.
Conker's got dirt in their eyes. It's up to someone else this time.
Okay. If someone wants to say be like a kind of co-pilot for Honker as he's having trouble seeing at the moment, and give him call outs. Okay. Give me an acrobatics roll, because you're kind of ducking and weaving and trying to get a good read on things for Honker here. Okay. So, Braz, you successfully roll through that here. And so you're calling down, to Honker, hard right, hard left. If you've ever seen that video of the one guy, like, doing, like, race calls for some, like, race car driver in India or something. It's like, hard left, hard right. You have to listen to my calls, Shamir.
No, but I'm gonna after this.
It's great. It's great. Like, he's doing like all these like tight turns through like a really nasty like race course, and his co-driver is just like shouting out all these calls like panicked. It's great. But Braz gets you through. You guys are dodging, dodge, duck, dip, dive, dodging throughout these obsidian spires. You know, some of the smaller ones you maybe just kind of, you know, crumble. You know, as a Cynthia leg smacks them, but you don't impale yourself on any, and manage to get through. So as you guys are getting out of the last bit of the obsidian spires here, you know, this thing is still pursuing you. You're hearing the sound of, you know, obsidian cracking and breaking. It's like the shattering of glass behind you as this thing just smashes through it all. You notice that one of the wings on Skynthia got a little, like it must have like smacked into something and got a little bent up. So you're kind of losing a little hover at the moment on one side, as you know, one of the wings is a little bent out of shape at the moment. Anybody want to do anything to help mitigate that?
Honker cries. He feels Cynthia's pain.
Seeing
I can
if I have anything that would help.
I can
Maz
acrobatically
can always-
climb out on the outside and try to repair.
Okay, sure. Go ahead and give me... Nice. Okay, Grotus, you managed to get out, you know, onto the top of the vehicle here, and you have a good grip, and you're bracing the wing up. But it looks like, you know, it might need a little fixing. Like somebody might need to like do like a quick cloth job or something to put that together. If you want to try it yourself, you can do a crafting roll. Otherwise, if somebody else wants to crafting.
Am I still up there from shouting directions?
Yeah, we'll assume you're up there.
Okay, yeah, I can try to help.
Okay, give me some crafting. Nice. Okay, so Grotus, you're kind of bracing this wing and bracing yourself on the side of Skynthia here, and you know Braz reaches out and with her, you know, alchemical skill and crafting knowledge manages to shore up this wing and get it in kind of a stable looking situation. As you're getting this fixed here, you see the sandstorm's getting a little thinner where you guys are, and there doesn't seem to be any, like the sand seems to open up a little bit in front of you, and so you guys are going along, and suddenly everybody give me a perception check. Okay. So all of you are kind of looking at the road ahead of you here, and all of you see what seems to be reality around you distorting a bit. It's like some kind of distortion field has like washed over the area, and things aren't looking right. You've taken the wrong drugs and are having it seems like you're having a little bit of a bad time. The machine elves are in the sand. If you have other ideas here, you can, but you can also give me an occultism.
I will do that.
You'll do that? Okay. Alright. So, Maz, you kind of think back to the various weird things you've seen. And with your knowledge of the occult, it seems that, you know, whatever this aberration is doing seems to be like a reality distortion type effect or spell. And you feel like there may be something that can counteract the spell. Perhaps something alchemical. Maybe like a potion of some kind.
I'm an incredible improviser. And after my level 4, things feel enough. I'm going to give myself a
Okay. Ooh.
no.
Uh,
I also have a cooperative skill to aid somebody. There's success on an outcome.
You broke up really bad in there for a moment.
Yeah, you
last thing I
sound
heard.
like you're.
I took a long way to say that I can't help. I'm trying to help, but I can't.
Okay.
I have something. I don't know if it will help because I don't know what this distorted reality-ish thing will do. I have Bravo's brew. I don't
Okay.
know if that would help us at all. It's a flask of foaming beer. It grants courage. For the next hour after drinking, you gain an item bonus to will saves.
Okay. Yeah, I would say that seems like that would reasonably help. So.
All right, cool. I'll pull out a 6-pack then.
Have some
Ross
courage.
might have a drinking problem.
Reality is distorted. Let's drink. So
Take one down, pass it around.
All right. So you pass around these Bravos brews. Everybody give me a will save. And Bravos brews will give us a little bit of a bonus on these. Let's see. We'll see if we need them. All right. All right. Close quarters there with all the rolls. All right. So with the bonuses from the Bravos brews here, you manage to you see, the reality was beginning to twist. It's kind of on twisting. Things are getting a little less strange. You seem to be resisting this reality distortion. And yeah, as you're coming out of this, you see, or you hear kind of sounds in the sand. And as you're running along, or hovering along in Skinthia here, these kind of ghostly looking tendrils start popping out of the sand around you, trying to go for Skinthia here. Grotus, you're already up on the roof. These tendrils are coming in.
That's not good. I don't like that.
Do you fight back?
What are you gonna do about it?
I have a question.
Yes.
What'd you say to Rose?
Would I, in theory,
Mm-hmm.
at this distance, be able to steal a spell?
Does it say a range or anything on that feat?
No.
Let me see. Let me pull up its thing here. Let me see what it even has. Let's see. Here we go. Let's see. Okay. And you said it's up to what level?
8.
Okay. Oh, so anything basically. Okay. Okay. There's some stuff in here, and you said it's randomly determined, right?
Um, yes, it's randomly selected from the highest level of spells that the foe knows
Okay.
that have a target or area.
Okay. And is there a roll that it has to do, or does that just happen? Does it say any sort of roll?
It works off of my legendary thief feat, which is a thievery check with a -5 penalty.
Okay. So I guess go ahead and roll me thievery then. Nice. Okay. Roll me just a regular D4. We'll see what that grabs. D4. Alright, so you steal the spell Hallucination. So this is the target consistently detects one thing as another, can't detect something that's there, or detects something that's not there, but it doesn't alter their beliefs. You choose which of the effects applies, and you determine the specifics of the hallucination. For example, you could make the target see all elves as humans, be unable to detect the presence of their brother, see their beloved pocket watch on their person when it isn't, things like that. Target has a will save. Yeah, see, yeah, you basically can do some whizzy-woo hallucinatory stuff.
Okay, I cast it back at the aberration.
Okay. Alright, I gotta roll a will save on the aberration here.
Well, that was stinky of it.
It rolls a 54. So, let's see, that would be a critical success. Okay. It is unfortunately unaffected by her hallucination. But that was a good
No!
that was a good move though.
I was so excited.
That would have been really cool if it didn't have crazy bonuses on will.
I even had a cool thought for the hallucination, too.
Okay, well I do want to hear what the cool thought was.
Okay, so it was essentially going to be that it wouldn't be able to detect us, and its vision was essentially going to be changed into like kaleidoscope effect of Scinthia flying around its head and us like laughing at it and pointing our finger
Wow.
That is pretty cool.
while we ran away. But it was
Yeah.
not meant to be,
It was-
and I'm very sad.
I know. So, as you're dodging this, oh yeah, right, the tendrils, where we got into the
Yeah.
spell stealing. Um,
I was trying to
Grotus was
help.
fighting back against the tendrils. Grotus, give me.
I strike at it with the pentagram gauntlets. I'm like,
Reflex save. Nice. All right. So you're up there with the pantograph gauntlets, and these tendrils from this thing are coming up out of the sand, trying to reach you guys. And as they come out, you're just, they even from a decent distance away, punching them off with those gauntlets that you've got. And everybody, give me a perception roll. Okay. So Grotus, you're already up on the roof there. You're punching stuff off, and you're looking around. Your eyes are focused. Your mind is quick, and you see through the kind of fading sandstorm up ahead of you here. It looks like you guys are heading directly towards some kind of drop off. And it seems to be like a pretty lengthy cliff. Like you look to the north, you look to the south. This seems to extend for quite a ways in both directions, and it looks. You see the sand kind of giving way to rock. This is like a rocky cliff face. Difficult to tell how deep it is, but you guys are going pretty fast trying to get away from this thing, and it does not look like you will be able to stop in time, possibly. However, with your roll that you got there, you consider in your encounters with this thing in the past, like this thing, moves through the sand, and considering it looks like this is a rock cliff face, and it seems to extend for quite a ways in either direction. If you do get over this, it doesn't seem like it'll be able to follow you very easily.
Guys, hold on. We're gonna make a big jump.
Sharp rocks at the bottom, most likely. Bring it on. Booyah. All right, so you guys are coming up on this cliff. What's the plan? You see as you're getting closer, Grotus, with your vantage point up here. Like it's a decently significant cliff. Like at least 100 feet, it looks like.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Cool. I don't have a thing that will help with that.
Any and all ideas are welcome. Like Skynthia does have, the wings, can hover a bit, so that does have at least some ability there, but like you might have some coyote time for a little bit off the cliff. But it's not going to be able to just like fly 100 feet in the air.
I'd rather not have some coyote time. I'd rather live.
I've got prayer beads, or I've got a juggernaut mutagen.
Ooh.
Start
Tell us
praying,
about
damn it.
Tell us about the juggernaut mutagen.
Been hanging on to this for a minute. So what I'm thinking is a game. I become huge. Plus 30 hit points when you roll a success on fortune save. Get a critical success. Your body becomes thick and sturdy. You exhibit a healthy growth, though you tend to be ponderous and obscure. Never maximum list. No. My plan was to get big and then just carry everybody. Do we have a bag of holding?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
If everybody jumps inside, I can feather fall us, and hopefully I'll just be the one who gets crushed by gravity. You guys can then release yourself from the bag of holding unharmed.
And it's
That's a
air-conditioned,
fucking
which is great 'cause
great
we're in the
idea.
desert.
That's a great idea.
That's a really good idea, Grotus.
Yeah, that's really creative. I like that.
Don't worry. If you die, I'll bring you back.
Does anybody have a feather fall potion or anything on?
No.
So about that,
Ooh, okay.
how about you just die and then we work to try and revive you?
I have 5
Like, I-
silk pillows. Will that help?
Maybe.
Oh,
I mean, we
I
can
can
definitely
wall
like, tape 'em
run.
to you.
Oh, I have some stuff that I can do for you, I'm sure. Like Honker reaches inside of himself and pulls out, just like starts pulling saves out everywhere. Let me look and see.
Well, you did mention the wall run there, Grotus. That might be feasible. Like, get up to the cliff and then just try to run down the cliff with party in pocket.
Yep.
I mean,
Or at least be able to mitigate some of the fall, and then probably tank the rest of the fall damage.
yeah. Well, I mean, I forget. Don't you have some kind of inherent like kind of featheriness? I feel like you did.
That is definitely in Dungeons and Dragons. I'm looking at Pathfinder right now, and I don't see it as a built-in thing.
Yeah, because I could have sworn you had like something or other to that effect. You know, like
Yeah. Graceful mastery. Now my unarmored defense is high. I definitely can wall run.
okay, yeah, that seems feasible. Okay, so we're chugging the potion. Grotus has the bag. Grotus gets big with the stuff. Everybody in the bag. Grotus wall running as best as he can down the cliff to try to take as much damage off. Hitting the ground. Home free. Things got a journey to get back to you. Okay.
So hitting the ground with bruised feet. I open the bag and let everybody.
Yeah, and then you let everybody out. We would hope. We hope we're not just keeping the party in the bag of holding the rest.
I mean, we're in a desert. It's air conditioned in there.
All right. So, Grotus, you chug the Juggernaut potion here, and you kind of hop down off of Skinthia, and you're kind of running alongside Skinthia here as you begin to grow in size. And you're kind of grabbing at this bag of holding that's on your hip here that they gave to you, and holding the mouth open, and it continues to grow, and you eventually have big enough size that you feel you can kind of comfortably get it around this, and Skinthia is hovering across the ground, so there's a little bit of space beneath. It just thumps everybody into the bag of holding here. So you guys are just kind of in a cold void, and see the opening close in front of you. Grotus puts this back on his hip, and without slowing down, comes up to the cliff edge. Grabs onto the edge and plants his feet on the cliff wall, beginning to run down. Give me an acrobatics, Grotus.
Going right up.
All right. So as you start running down this wall here, it's familiar. You've wall run before, but it is a little odd. With the sudden recent increase in size, it kind of threw things off a little bit. So you get a little ways down the wall, and you feel your balance kind of going off a little bit, and you manage to make it about 40 feet down the cliff face, before you kind of feel things getting a little loose, and you begin to fall. Let's see what the calculation for that would be.
While all that is happening, I find an old sandwich in the bag, and I dare Maz to eat it.
Here we go. Falling rules.
Maz eats it.
I feel like you should have to roll to see if you throw up the sandwich or not.
You want me to throw up in a bag of holding? Really?
No, I don't want you to, but like we don't know how long this has been in here.
Well, GM.
Yo, what?
I mean, I would argue food doesn't go bad in a bag of holding.
Do
People
I roll
die,
a
but, like-
Constitution save?
Oh no, you're just having a sandwich.
Okay.
You got sandwich aid. Gonna sneak up on you. When you medium most suspect it.
Okay, here's the calculation part. So with how far you got down, let's see, to
Can Grotus hop into the bag mid-fall?
just kind of a little plop as the bag fall. Well, to be fair, the bag would have to be much larger for the now enlarged Grotus to get into the bag, because it got big. It got bigger enough for the rest of you. But we got like a giant Grotus situation going on right now.
I tried, Grotus.
Alright, so Grotus, you take 60 bludgeoning damage. Not too bad, actually, with how they have the calculations.
Ooh.
And you definitely feel a little sprained as you kind of land onto the ground. How long does it say how long that juggernaut thing lasts? Like, is it like a minute or a couple minutes or?
Let me see the duration. Did add the if I'm speaking for the
Let me see. Juggernaut mutagen. Here it is. Looks like a oh wait, no. Was it a
full minute.
Gotcha. Okay. So, yeah, so you successfully land down here, with some damage. Bit of a rough landing. But you managed to pick yourself up, and you have a little bit longer in this larger size.
Oh, right. The duration is 1 hour when you roll a success.
Oh, right, because it was a higher level potion. That's right.
Whenever you are at maximum hit points, you regain.
Nice.
1
Okay.
hour long.
Nice. Okay, well, never mind.
It doesn't actually change my size.
All right, so you're big for a bit. So with your additional size, you cover a decent bit of distance, and so you kind of go running across the sand here below this cliff, giant form Grotus booking it, and make it a decent distance in that time. And of course, let the gang back out of the bag. I hope. At some point during that journey.
If not, then Braz just like pushes a white claw out the top of the bag.
Top of the bag. Hello. All right. You guys successfully get away from this thing. And you see, it's still a little ways off from where you guys got to with your little sprint here. But you're kind of coming up on the city of Shraen, especially now that you're kind of below this cliff and you don't have the the height difference of that in the way. Oops. Where is the pick of it here? Ah, here we go. So you see ahead of you, kind of coming up out of the black sand, a variety of structures. They appear to be stone structures. They appear to be there a while. And among these structures are various pyramids, and especially one particularly large pyramid in the middle of it all. This dark, ancient city here of Shraen. And let's see. Where is my page? Ah, here we go. Okay. So as you guys kind of approach the city here, you start to see various other traveling groups coming and going in the direction of Shraen itself. You see groups that are armored. You see groups that appear to be in chains, and you notice a lot of because up until now, you've heard of Shraen, and you've heard of the drow that are down here. You haven't actually seen any drow before, and as you kind of approach the city here, you see that the drow themselves that you see around in these various traveling groups are very undead looking. Kind of similar to the Erdefans, how they were kind of corpsey looking. Same thing for the drow. These aren't your typical, what you think of with drow that you've probably seen in other things. Let me see. There's an image here somewhere. Okay, here's some images here. So here is, some of the armored creatures you see with some of these groups look like this. Otherwise, you're seeing a lot of drow that kind of look more like this.
Whew. Lolth really wants eternal commitment, doesn't she?
Is it Lolth in Pathfinder?
I don't know.
I just realized, I was like, There's another one. So, let's see here. So Shraen, as you are kind of getting into the area here, and I think I do have just a map, Shraen map. Here we go. Ah, yes, here we go. There is Shraen.
Of course, we hover into the Scythia landing pad that is standard across the realms these days because I am a legendary performer, so therefore everybody has heard of me.
Right, of course.
The honker?
The. So, the first thing you notice about Shraen, so going around the in your travels down here, you've seen, Zulgath architecture around, and you've been in Zulkandur. There was like the ruins when you initially got in the area. That this ancient kingdom from stuff that you found, this ancient kingdom of Vask, this Zulgath, from thousands of years ago. This a lot of the structures here, especially like the pyramids and stuff, and the like the larger things like that, are in a similar style to the other Zulgath architecture that you've seen around. And of course, amongst all of that are more recent structures, but they still look hella ancient, like still hundreds of years old at least. But while other things look thousands of years. One thing you do notice is while there's quite a decent amount of people around, like you guys are coming in, probably on that map of Shraen, on the southern side down there. There's a fair bit of travelers. This is kind of the major city down here, even if it is, an undead city basically, but still gets travelers. And you also see a lot of folks that appear to be enslaved. You've already heard from multiple sources now that there's huge amount of slavery here. And surprisingly, you don't see very many like drow themselves. Like you do see drow around, but number wise, vastly more other peoples, like of all sorts of different kinds. You got dwarves, halflings, tieflings, humans. You got a mix of everything down here. People that have wandered through the area and gotten captured. Who knows what else. Very big melting pot. But for being Drow City, not a lot of Drow, which seems odd to you.
Nothing seems odd to us anymore.
Fair.
Bunker. What are we looking for here? We're looking for something.
So you're looking for, the reason you guys came here at all is the orb that you guys have been after down here.
That's right.
Got taken here by this drow named Zalin, who the Durgar you talked to was under the slavery / employ of. But yeah, he supposedly has some kind of laboratory here where he was studying it. So in this kind of market area, like this kind of central part of the city is just a big open kind of square of sorts, like all around the big central pyramid, and then like in a all the way down to that southern gate where you guys came in, just like a massive plaza. And there are shops and things set up, and with this being a city of the undead and the drow, there's all these slaves here that they aren't undead. Like there's all these living people. Like these are all like none of these other peoples here seem to be undead. They just live here, whether they're forced to or not. Not entirely sure for all of them. And it's surprisingly active place. Despite that, the only things you don't see at all here, you don't see any Urdefons at all. Like you've kind of come across them in various times in your travels outside of here. Not a single one. The only undead things you're seeing are these drow that you see around sometimes.
Well, I guess we're here, so Hawker will start like juggling and kind of walking through the street and like listening as he's like busking to try and see maybe if he can spot or hear anything about like this potential laboratory of this guy. Might ask around too.
Okay, sure.
as long as he makes people smile first. He never approaches anybody that is unamused by his busking. He makes sure he has a good impression.
Sure. So,
Oh, sorry. Grotus is going to aid with that and has a thing called discreet inquiry. It's a skill feat. You are subtle in your efforts to learn the things you need to know when gathering information. You can hide the true subject of your inquiry among other topics of little interest. So, when gathering information, anyone trying to gather information
okay.
to determine something was asking about your topic in question must exceed your deception DC.
Okay. So,
Or the normal DC.
so put a quick pin in that. I was looking for the page I was looking for about our arrival in Shraen was a little further into this module's pages than I thought it was, and I finally found it. So I was like, "Where's the part with the info I'm trying to find?"
We're in
So
trouble already.
you're not in trouble. You're not in trouble. But it has some lovely descriptions here that I don't want to pass over. So we're coming up to the city. So in the distance, a city of tall spires and pyramids and numerous faint but colorful lights rises far above the seemingly endless expanse of black sand. Large portions of the ancient-looking city lie in ruins, but some districts appear to have been partially rebuilt. And even now, scores of people are repairing defensive walls in some of the best-preserved districts of the city. You see lumbering zombies carrying heavy loads of building materials, and living slaves wearing painful-looking chokers, working together to place heavy stone blocks into the walls. You see a Durgar caravan riding on giant beetles entering the city gate above kind of a rocky, dried-up stream bed. At least it seems like it was at some point in its history. A group of guards are standing at the gates. Some of them appear to be alive. Some of them are undead. As you approach a human, very scarred looking, kind of hails you as you come into the city here. He begins speaking in Undercommon, which I think I know, Braz, you understand. I can't remember if anybody else speaks Undercommon.
I think I'm the only one.
You're the only one. Okay, so he starts by speaking in Undercommon and continues when he notices you kind of turn his direction, Braz, in understanding. He says, "Come in, get in. Don't tarry now. We want to keep this area clear so we can close the gates if the demon spawn bastards attack again. First time here, no? Are you here for slaves? Art, antiques, artifacts? Are you performers, perhaps? Right this way, get in already. Remember to stay within the Central District. Whatever you would like to do, if you'd like to continue breathing, just stay in the Central District. The Drow and their agents are always looking for reasons to make more corpses. They get more zombie slaves that way."
Yeah, yes, indeed.
Yeah, we're here to do some entertainment and not turn into a corpse. I'm not even sure if I can die at this point, so I mean, it might be moot. But you said we can buy people here? I didn't know you could own people. How? Nobody's ever explained this to me. How much do they cost?
And
Where's
I
the
unfortunately
market?
have to translate all of this.
So he does, he does speak common as well.
Oh, thank
So
God.
as Honker speaks up and starts like going on about this, like, wait, slaves are a thing? You can buy people? Whoa. He switches into common since he sees that you speak this as well. And he says, "Yes, of course, we have many slaves here from all walks of life and strengths and skills. You can find them at various locations throughout the market. The House of Chains in the Central District is the main one, though. They sell the slaves from the corrals there."
Are the chains included?
Okay, that's awesome. That sounds really great. Thank you. Is there a place we should perform? Do we need to get a license? I put on one heck of a show. You can't hate it.
So he kind of leans back a little bit and says, "Oh, performers! There's an amphitheater called the Red Circus in Central District. They stage gladiatorial fights with slaves and beasts from the corrals and perform plays and provide other entertainment there. If you're a
Okay.
performer, you could perhaps work something out with them."
We'll go check it out. We'll head into town, or at least Honker will head into town with Skintia.
Are there any other questions that you guys
So-
have, any of the others you have about Shraen that you want to ask?
To make a street inquiry about research.
Oh, you're breaking up real bad again there.
All right, I'm going to make a discreet inquiry about anybody who might be crazy enough to be experimenting on death relics. Real discreet, like
Okay.
where it's hidden in a bunch of other topics. Sounds like I'm asking about how we can get hooked up to start working in the amphitheater, selling our sold-out show. We've had so much of the Zolgath, and we know these things about this stuff, and we've seen so many people get all coiled up on that. We got songs to sing, and we got this one with a sick solo. He misses the part, but he is planted to tell us if anybody is super interested in Zolgath folklore and technology.
Okay. So with your kind of descriptions here and like looking into people who might be of a kind of sciencey sort, looking into research, academics perhaps, he says, "Oh, you must be thinking of Zalin Shraen. He's a mummy in his high tower. You can see it from here." And he kind of points off into the city here, and you see quite a high tower, off in kind of like a northern part of town. And he says, "Well, you won't get anywhere near it though. It's in the Forbidden District. You'd need official permission. Otherwise, they attack intruders on sight."
How do you get official permission? Can I get it by putting on a really good show? I know a lot of good jokes. Here's one I know you guys will appreciate. Human rights. Huh? And I like kind of elbow him a little bit.
The meaning of your joke kind of whooshes over his head. He doesn't quite understand what you're jibing at there. But he does respond to your inquiry about how do we get one. Yeah, and they say Zyra and Narinda Shraen are the Drow sisters who run this city. Almost nothing happens without their say. They reside in the Central Pyramid. You can see the tip of it from here. Nice, eh? He kind of points up at the massive Central Pyramid here that, despite looking, very ancient, seems, quite well maintained. It's an impressive structure.
It is impressive. It's really cool. Well, how do you have any tips if one wanted to like curry favor with them? Because like we gotta go talk to this shrink guy, to be completely honest with you. So we gotta figure that out step by step. And step one's always juggling, and I'll start juggling. And then I'll say, but we're trying to figure out step two. How do we impress these folks into letting us in?
So he kind of he kind of leans down a bit toward you, Honker, and he kind of looks over all of you and says, "You really aren't from around here, are you? Don't you know, breathers like you and me, we aren't allowed to walk freely here. We're lesser. We're lesser than the dead here. Not to mention that you're also outsiders, of course. It's not so simple to get in their graces when you're already in the lower class of society here. All of us have to stay in the Central District. around the central plaza. It's not so bad. There's markets and shops and entertainment. It's the administrative center too. The city's leaders spend most of their time in the central pyramid, but the Lost District to the north and west and the Forbidden District to the east is where most of the drow in charge live. And unless you're a drow, you don't go there. Not unless you want to never return. Only influential folks who get official permission may enter in those areas. So you'd have to do something to warrant that. But you're going to have a hard time of it.
Look at me, man. I'm an animated doll. I have a hard time of everything. My legs are so short, I had to cut hundreds of enemies apart and worship a rock to stick them together so that I could move place to place like normally. We'll manage. You can come see our show, and I'll pat him on the back and I'll toss him a gold piece.
He's a little surprised by the whole gold piece there, but he kind of looks at it and looks up at you and looks a little dumbfounded, and is like, well, I guess I shall. I am intrigued. You're a curious sort.
If you ever want to guard our circus, come find us. We have dental. And I'll smile and show him my teeth.
That are just gorgeous.
Oh, man. So you guys head into town here. So there are a number of interesting things around here. So you're coming in from that southern gate into that kind of main southern plaza here. So this gate you're walking through is like bleached white, and upon closer inspection, it appears to be out of alabaster, which is a type of stone. And this one, you can kind of like feel the weight of history as you pass through it here. The plaza in front of the pyramid here, or kind of in the southern part in front of the pyramid, is a pretty popular place for locals and visitors. There are various obelisks around in the plaza that appear to be carved with various engravings and images. Various trades and things are going on. You see around the edges of this plaza here a few places that seem to have signposting. On the eastern side, right off the bat, you see what looks to be an inn. It has a sign that says The Aching Bones on it, and has some carved imagery that lends you to think of comfortable beds, or one would hope. You see, various people coming in and out of there. Some of them kind of lounging on some tables outside, but seems to be a place to lay one's head.
I don't see any signs like no breathers allowed or anything like that.
No, there's no such signs regarding breathers, and you see plenty of people that are coming in and out of this inn that appear to be alive.
Get some beds at the Aching Bones.
All right. So you head inside the Aching Bones, and as you walk inside, you smell cooking from wherever the kitchen is in here, and you realize it's kind of been a moment since you had a nice cooked meal, and the smell kind of strikes you right away. in a good way. It smells great. Like it smells like some good eating in here. And there's quite a number of people in here, of all walks of life, on booths and tables, conversing. The stone floor in here is gouged with marks of ages, and the walls are carved with Zolgath iconography. The roof seems to be some kind of interesting type of wood. You're not sure what kind, but it has like an interesting, like deep, rich hue to it. You see over by the bar, or behind the bar, a gentleman, seemingly in the midst of serving something to a customer at the moment. And they kind of look up as they see you walk in and beckon you over. Say, "Ha! Hello, new visitors. New in town?"
Yeah, we just
Here we are.
came to town. We're circus performers, so if you need a performance, I would be happy to keep a lively tune going in the tavern this evening, maybe for a discount, but we can get to that later. Don't worry. Okay, it's later. So, what do you think?
Ah, performers. Well, you could always use a little joviality down here at the bottom of the world. Yes, I mean, I would certainly be amenable to performance here in the tavern, if anything that benefits the both of us. Gets you a little influence on your craft, and I maybe get a few more ales sold across the bar.
Okay, so I'll tell jokes. I got a good stand-up routine that will just keep you laughing. You can't hate it. In the meantime, we need to go see this Drake guy. You got any leads on how we can impress people enough to get down into the center of the city? I know we're new here, so it's kind of an ignorant question, but well, we're kind of new here, so we don't really know.
Of course, I see you new to the city, need a bit of a tour of sorts. And a jokester, you say? Well, I mean, I must say I'm a fan of them myself. I mean, I like to help tour people around the city sometimes. Of course, the innkeeper, I know quite a bit around here. And as I get older, I remember all the people that I lost along the way, and maybe my career as a tour guide was not the right choice after all. And he kind of grins.
Maybe it wasn't.
Oh, this
You
might
could
be the
join
most
our
important
circus.
tour.
Well, I must say
Okay,
I
this
am pretty
is
comfortable
good.
down here in Shraen. But if you
Okay,
are
all right.
performers of a circus variety, I mean, like I said, you can perform here tonight, and perhaps as you settle in Shraen, maybe you'll have something else I can come see.
Oh yeah, don't you worry. We're awesome at what we do. I'm telling you, you can't hate us. And Honker will try and tell him a couple jokes about, human rights.
So he throughout through this conversation here you're having with him, he introduces himself as Hamankar Onshan. He's the proprietor here, of course. And he asks, since it seems like you'll be staying here, are you looking for comfortable or fine lodgings?
Only the best for me. I don't know about these ones, but I need the absolute best, preferably fireproof as well. You'll want a soundproof as well. I scream in my sleep.
Ah, well, we are well acquainted with the screams down here in the City of the Dead.
Okay. So how much for like fine lodgings for all of us for a couple days?
Let's see here.
Like the best lodgings you have, Hammond Car. How much for your room? I can afford it. I want your room now.
So their finest lodgings that they have, it would be a decent a penny. It's a gold piece per person per night.
That's nothing.
Yeah, no problem. Honker looks him in the eye and he says, I know you may think we're poor because we're crooked folk, but somehow we also double as adventurers. You know what adventurers are really good at, Hammond Car?
Hmm.
Fucking up the economy. and so he happily puts 10 gold pieces down so we can stay 2 nights.
Okay. All right. So he slides these across the bar. He's kind of putting this away into a drawer here, and he says, "Well, of course, if you're in our finest lodgings and with our finest and softest pillows, I will recommend, as you stay in the City of the Dead, don't challenge death to a pillow fight." And he kind of grins expectantly.
Okay. Honker takes this as sage advice.
Gordis says that's against his religion.
Well, he responds to you, Grotus, and says, "Well, that's good because, if you were able to do so, I don't think you are prepared for the repercussions."
I think the repercussions of getting hit with a pillow by death is something I'm ready for. The repercussions are the exact cushions I'm into.
I'm
One of the
ashamed to say it
entourage
took me a second to get
dies.
that one.
This guy seems to be a fan of little dark puns. So he sets you up with some fine lodgings here, and they are quite nice. Which, again, is kind of surprising because, this is the City of the Dead. You're at the bottom of the world in this hellhole of desert full of horrible things. And here you guys are in a, pretty damn nice inn with some damn good food. It's kind of surprising, especially after, you guys have been journeying for, a couple weeks, several weeks at this point across the desert. Like, this is nice. This is a break.
Like the last place we stayed, they gave us boiling blood.
Yeah. The last place you had stayed, it was indeed a blood feast. And before that, it was up on the surface. So it's been a moment. It's been a journey. So, he recommends you a few places to kind of look around. So he mentions, of course, the Red Circus, which you'd heard from the guard at the gate, an amphitheater of some kind. It might be a place to check out. He also recommends, of course, visiting the Antiquities Quarter, which is the mercantile heart of the central district here, with many interesting shops that sell and buy almost any kind of item imaginable, including ones that are possibly illegal and or immoral in other places of the world. And then, the House of Chains, as you've heard, is the slave market. one of the main attractions of the city for unscrupulous visitors. And then, of course, he mentions, with all of your journeyings around the city, please, for your safety, stay in the central district. Those of us who are alive are not welcome elsewhere, unfortunately. Zyra and Narinda, who run this city, and the Drow themselves, are not too fond of those who yet live. But if we keep to ourselves, then it won't be too much of an issue.
Okay. Well, keep to ourselves. Our goal is to kind of get their attention and earn their approval. You see, I never had a dad. Okay, well, we'll go check them out. And
Well, if you do manage to become, have enough notoriety, perhaps you would be able to get an audience with them. They do sometimes speak with notable visitors that we get from other areas of the world. But, unless you have something of interest to them or, are of any sort of notable person, they probably won't be too interested in entertaining you.
okay. Well, makes sense. We gotta be notable in order to get their interest. Let's get a good night's sleep, guys, and we should do some investigations at some of these places he's told us about and maybe gain some notoriety. Perhaps we could do a small performance.
Perhaps. All right, so you guys, settle in. You have a nice rest. I think there was a... There we go. Oh, let me take Thaxon out of here. They're not with you anymore. Okay. So after a nice rest here, oh, actually, you did say you wanted to do a performance that evening in the tavern, Honker. So go ahead and give me a performance roll for that. Just kind of do a little act.
Yeah, most definitely.
All right. It's definitely a successful performance. What are you performing for the folks down here at the bottom of the world?
It's a like first he'll juggle like his way in, and there's like a little small opening performance, but then it's a stand-up routine. His joke down here mainly revolve around drinking the blood of your enemies and some human rights stuff that doesn't quite land as well as he'd like it to. I really tried to get AI to give some jokes for this, but it just really is failing me tonight.
Damn.
And I've got holes in my brain, so I can't improv jokes about undead that aren't terribly racist about undead.
So, let's see here. So it is a successful performance. And let me see, where is... here we go. So you feel you left a good impression on the people that were here at the inn this evening. It's difficult to say how much of an impression, really, but you feel that you've made a good first impression in town in some way.
Okay. So then we'll do our sleep. Hulker is not comfortable, so he sleeps in the armoire. Standing up.
All right. So in the morning, you guys kind of head out into town here. So, one thing you notice about, the folks here, it is, a bustling city, but it is still kind of dour. And, on top of you being alive, you see that, most of the people around just seem to be kind of going about their business and just kind of disdainfully live their lives down here. And, as you're exploring the area here, most of like the creatures, even though they're living, just have kind of a generally unfriendly air about them. They're just kind of about your existence down here. You're just more meat passing through the town. Is there a place in particular that you guys wanted to check out first?
No, whatever's closest, Hunker's happy to go to.
Closest. Okay. Closest. Oops.
Definitely doing a performance along the way. Like juggling, telling bad jokes.
Sure. So, the inn is like when you guys come in the south gate. There's like the city blocks that are to the right of you there. There's the one that's right against the wall and the one right above it. The one right above it is where the inn is at. And you'll see just above that block is kind of a big oval-shaped one. That's the closest one next door. That is the Red Circus.
Oh yeah, obviously we go there first.
Okay. Get that page up here. Okay. So, the Red Circus. You kind of head toward the front gate here. And as you approach the front gate, you see that there is, someone taking tear to enter the circus. And you see a signboard written in, kind of painted up in a stylish paint in, noting various currencies. It seems that it's 5 silver pieces per entrant.
Okay.
I'm assuming you guys
We will put
head
our
in.
monies in there.
Okay. All right. So this amphitheater is quite large. It's actually larger than your own tent. And it's not a tent. It's a built structure, like a built amphitheater, but it's significantly bigger than your own big top. And it is like a gigantic oval bowl in multiple tiers with hundreds of seats. And at this moment, and you see signpostings for this as you're kind of walking up towards it, it is currently hosting some sort of gladiatorial match. And you hear the audience in here roaring and cheering and booing alternatively. And as you kind of get up into the amphitheater itself, where you can see down in the oval in the center looks like 2 warriors facing off against each other. There's a nimble-looking Darrow, and which I don't remember which one Darrow, what race that is. Oh, right, we ran into one of these before. They're like a halfling type folk. But they're kind of twisted and like a pale, sickly, bluish color. Let's see, does it give me an image of a darrow in here? I know we've run into one before. If you guys recall, when you guys were going around the couple of cities, when you got to the main continent here, there was the case of people getting like parts of their brains stolen, if you recall.
Mm-hmm.
And when you eventually got to, like, I think it was like the last Aeon Tower, there was a Darrow there who had been in the process of doing that. Like, they were the ones killing people and taking parts of their brains, and it was part of some sort of research project to see if they could make Darklands folk resistant to the sun. Using...
Oh yeah, I think kicked him off of the side of a pyramid.
Yeah, you kicked him off the side of a pyramid. That guy was a Darrow. Okay, so you've seen Darrow before. And then, so there's a nimble Darrow fighting in here, and then they're fighting against a very warty, purple-skinned troll, facing off against each other. Like, the Darrow seems to be a much better combatant, and is ducking and dodging the troll's huge claws with ease. And as, you know, they're in the midst of launching into a series of attacks, the troll trips on his own feet and falls forward and just crushes the smaller combatant beneath his flailing fist, and the fight ends in a splatter of blood and cheers from the audience.
Nice.
So
those guys suck. I'm happy for the troll.
So as this finishes, you see a very handsome, youthful looking drow gentleman kind of step into the center of the ring here and says, "Oh, what a splendid end, folks! We'll have our next fight coming up here in just a moment as we clean up the area." And he kind of steps off the area, and you hear, you know, music begin to play from somewhere. You know, perhaps they have some small troupe playing intermediary music while these corpses get dragged out of the ring here. And you see this handsome young drow. They step off the ring. They kind of go. You see an area off to the side of the amphitheater that seems to kind of slant down and go towards, you know, kind of a backstagey looking area. Seems to loop around back that way.
You gotta find a way to get there.
Can we just like casually make
Yeah.
our way back?
Yeah, you head over that direction without too much difficulty. You just kind of follow the ring around. You know, much like, you know, a lot of stages, you know, like they have like the stairs off to the sides of each stage. You just kind of see the stairs to the back over there and kind of head that direction. As you kind of get into the backstage area, you see, you know, the drow gentleman here in front of the mirror. He's kind of brushing his hair a little bit and adjusting his fine coat that he has on. And he kind of sees you approaching kind of from the side of the backstage here in the mirror, and turns around and says, "Ah, newcomers, I see. Interested in the entertainment? Are you performers?"
Yes. We have a circus up top.
Oh, you have a circus yourself. Oh, that's delightful.
Yeah, we're kind of the only one. We killed all the competition.
Oh, I see. Well, perhaps you sent them all to the city of the dead down here.
It could have been. Maybe. Have you heard of... What was that lady's name, guys? This one. And I pull her face out.
The cat
We're so
lady.
bad at names. More face people.
Oh, man. Let's see. What was her name?
Mistress something.
I know, it was Mistress... What was it?
Dusklight?
I think it might have been. Let's see. Yes, yes, it was Mistress Dusklight.
Oh my god, I remembered a name.
A name from 3 modules.
Holy shit.
Goddamn. Nicely done.
I'm really proud of myself. I don't remember anybody else's name even right after you say it.
I mean, to be fair, you guys did used to be underemployed. It was kind of traumatizing, and that's what led to your whole circus being found in the first place. So it's probably a deep-seated emotion.
No, it's just that most people's names just sound like a bunch of noises strewn together, so...
So, you're talking about your circus stuff here, and says, well, if you already have experience in the circus, well, I can say they're performing down here in the city of Shraen. There's many opportunities for riches and fame, and here in the arena, especially if you're an experienced performer such as yourself, I'm sure that the entertainment you can offer could be something that could benefit the both of us. I'm sure. We of course have performances of various kinds that you can do. There was the fights, of course, that you just mentioned. If any of you happen to be skilled in that manner, we're available for many types of entertainment down here, with all the walks of life that come through the city of Shraen. Well, I'm sure they all have their interesting tastes that can be catered to.
We love catering to taste.
All right, so I'm trying to recall. So I know when we were at the Erdefon camp and we talked to the tiefling guy. I can't remember. Did you guys set him free? I feel like you guys.
No, we
didn't.
we couldn't get him. We couldn't get them to set him free, but I promised that we'd come back and set him free or kill him.
Ah, right. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So what you guys can do down here is you can earn income from the Red Circus, either by doing like your signature trick of some kind, which I believe, and we may have to look into this and do the actual performing of the stuff next time. Because it's been a hot second since we had to do some circus stuff, and we've leveled up a bit, and that gives some more bonuses to your tricks, so you guys can probably expand on your tricks there. Because these are higher level. This is a higher level circus. So you can earn money and influence that way from those kind of performances. Then the gladiatorial fights here, can be quite a mix of stuff. And that would, put you guys, up into some kind of combat against who knows what, to gain influence and cash that way. And then, of course, there's the other things in the city that you haven't checked out yet that are other ways to gain influence as well. But this is an option.
This could be how we find our adoring fans.
Yeah, we could do circus stuff, or we can do fights. Or we could do both and show them that we're the best.
Indeed. So, I think for now, since I think we'll need to do some trick expanding. Actually, let me pull it. Let me see how much that changes. Because if it doesn't change much, we can at least figure that out now, and then get into the what you guys are doing in town with this and with the other areas you haven't explored yet. Let me see. Where is our trick? Trick. Putting on a show. Okay, show. Tricks. Here we are. Ah, yes. Okay, so we do get an additional, or level 16. So we have 3 trick checks that you can roll from. And then you should also have 3 traits that you can assign for your tricks to give it various things. So things like if it's like an air or alchemical or dance or fire or injury or whatever, things like that. And those give various bonuses. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, I think what I'll do is I will copy down the list of like the trick traits and stuff, and you guys just have that to think on about what you're wanting to do for your current signature trick, and then we can get into that next time. But I can give you guys some time to sort that out. It's been a moment. And we probably have some new things we can do with our performances. So
When's the last time we actually performed?
I think the last time you guys performed was in Willowside. I think it was after. Yeah, it was as the like siege started, because your guys' tent got like attacked.
Oh yeah.
When there was that whole business. So yeah, it's been a moment. But yeah, I'll get that list put together and put it in our thing, and we can get into the meat of Shraen next time a bit. But yeah, I'll get that put together.
The meat of Shraen, huh?
The meat of Shraen, yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Good stuff. All right.
Good stuff, man.
Good stuff indeed.